Hey, and welcome. This video is basically if you don't have much money, or maybe if you want to buy some stuff for your kid or something like that, this is for you. What you see here cost me $40. Could cost you more than that, but like this was free and this was free. So the rest of this was $40. It depends how much you spend to make some of this, I guess. But at the core of this is the Cold Steel Bushman. These are 20 bucks, and they are bitchin'. They now come with this plastic sheath and a ferro rod there on the outside. And you can buy a $10 broom handle and turn it into a spear with a screw. I had to shorten a screw to make that, but you could just buy a short screw. For like 29, 30 bucks, this spear is a pretty effective weapon that almost anyone could wield. Okay, then this thing is 10 bucks. This is the Mora, was it 511? I always want to call it the 711, but it's not. I like this one because it has a guard and it's cheap. This was like $9. And with the guard especially, I feel like you could actually stab somebody with this. It's the cheapest knife that I would use defensively. And it's a pretty good like woods, utility knife. And really your spear here should probably be your weapon, and this is more utility. Kind of what I'm thinking. And then as a bludgeoning type thing, non-lethal, nunchucks. I don't really like nunchucks, but you can use them like a mace, and I like that. And they are cheap to make. This was an oak dowel that I found, cut in half, and then shortened the halves to this length. I kind of played around with the length for a bit. And all you have to do to make these is drill 2 holes, and then drill a hole down the center line there that goes through those holes. And then you just fish the paracord through them. You have to kind of go down and out and around and back up and in, and it's a pain in the ass. And I had to make a wire tool to do this, but it can be done. And you could totally make those out of like a mop handle or something too if you really had to, although I think this might be a little thin. I don't know. I was worried about how thin this was until I started playing around throwing it. This makes a great throwing spear. It's kind of light for like a just stabbing people spear, but being really light, make it a good kid's spear, something like that. And like if you're really prepping and you're building out a little kit for your kid, this is probably about as effective as a weapon as I would give them. I don't know. It's all up to you and your kid and how old they are. But nunchucks are just really easy to make, and they're really cheap. Paracord is like 10 cents a foot here. So, and this thing I made in high school. I had a piece of square pipe, a carpenter's hammer, and a propane torch. This piece of school desk, and a pair of mechanics pliers. So it can be done. Okay. For a sheath, I have a piece of belt. There's one of those double-sided belts that I just cut a piece of it off and slid the knife in, and boom, sheath. You can make a lot of shit like this. If you can get a hold of a file, a hammer, some sort of heavy metal object, and a what else? A propane torch and a set of pliers. You're going to need insulated pliers. The other thing that I would buy would be like a Dremel tool. A Dremel tool with all its little grinding and cutting bits is really handy for a lot of different shit besides this. And it's something that like your grandpa or your dad might already have if you're young and watching this and looking for stuff to do. Like, ask permission first, obviously, and like let him know what you're doing, whatever. But like, you can make shit. I was making shit. I'm planning on giving Probably not the prison shank, and probably not the nunchucks. But I'm planning on giving one of each of these to my nephew. I just think for a kid's setup, this is particularly pimping. Even for an adult, like, don't take this with you, and you could have a pair of knives in your bag that one of them can be turned into a spear, and one of them's a good like woods blade, and then this one is actually pretty good at splitting wood. It's just thin and metal and indestructible. It makes a good splitter. I think the other Bushman with the normal blade is supposed to make an even better splitter. I don't know about that. I'm a big fan of both of these though, especially the Mora 511 is damn near a perfect knife. There's a lot of cool Mora knives. The Mora Companion is cool. I like the Mora Eldris, I guess the little small one. The Mora Bushcraft, I think is what the other one's called that I like. It's kind of black. I don't know. I'm a big fan of their company in general just because they make some of the best knives in the world and they sell them for pennies. And they make tools. They do not make knives. Like, this is like a screwdriver that cuts things. And it's kind of awesome. This thing is made in China, but it's every bit as good as it needs to be, in my opinion. Like, as much abuse as a spear is going to get, like, I think this item has more in common with a shovel than it does with a knife. Like, it's gonna see some abuse if you really use this thing as a spear, so, you know, I would buy probably a few of these, to be honest. At 20 bucks a piece, why not have a few? I'm gonna buy at least 2 or 3 more and probably give a couple away as gifts. Haft them to these broomsticks, or mop sticks, or whatever the fuck these are. Sorry, I think I just got stung by something. Anywho, I think this is about as well armed as you can be for $40. And the best part too is if you do take this thing off of the broom handle, you have like a 5-foot stick. It's kind of a light stick, but like you could use that for something. Like, it could, you know, be a hiking stick or something, and you know, your kid could be like the Ninja Turtle with the bow staff, whatever the fuck his name was. I'm sure that'll get some comments in this. Tell me what Ninja Turtle had the bow staff. Thanks for watching, guys.